Welcome to the Senior Citizen Talk. Um, from all our viewers all over the world, from Cape Town, South Africa, to London, UK, and those from Attica, Japan, and to those in Alaska, United States of America. It's Anastasious Gordon Sekandi bringing to you today's guest is a prominent senior citizen and Ugandan society. He's a professor, Ndinawe Byekwaso, and he majored in political science and public administration, and today he's here to talk to us and narrate stories about things we need to know and the generation of today, what you didn't know about the past, the history of this beautiful country, Uganda, the power of Africa, and the world at large. Stay tuned and enjoy. Professor, welcome to the Senior Citizen Talk.
Thank you for considering me also to talk about what I know.
Our viewers all over the world, they would like to know a brief background about you.
Yes, a brief background. I was born in Kabale. By then it was Kigezi district.
Oh, Western Uganda.
Yes. Older than independence.
Wow.
And I was born to a very in a remote village by people who were very poor, in a poor background.
Yes.
My mother never went to school, and so was my father, and they never held any position of responsibility even in the church.
Oh my goodness.
So but I managed to go to a primary school. They call it Kahondo Primary School
in Kabale.
Up to now very few people know about it. But I managed to come from that remote primary school, went to the prominent senior secondary schools by then, because I went to senior secondary school in 1977. And I went to Kigezi College in Butovere. It was still prominent, now it has gone down. I also came from Butovere and I went to Ntare School where President Museveni
in Mbarara. Wow, that's very great and a big achievement.
From Mbarara, I went to Makerere University.
And by then Makerere was on top of the world.
It was the only university then.
Wow.
And there were only 7,000 students at the whole campus doing all the courses from medicine to law, journalism. We were only 7,000.
7,000 students.
7,000 students, and for all the years, the population of Makerere was only 7,000.
Wow.
And for that matter, we pampered because we got free textbooks.
Yes.
Free writing material. They call it scholastic material.
Scholastic material.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by that time, most of the people who were at the university were mainly peasants.
For me, people from poor background.
Poor background, not in this time when only the rich go there. And for me, because I was still honest, when they gave me the books, we were buying books, they would give you textbooks to use.
Yes.
For me, I bought them and kept most of them. And I have read them. And they have shaped my understanding.
There is a saying that I went to school as a fool and came back as a fool. So you went to school as a fool and came back as a philosopher. Would I say that?
I know philosophy so much, but the truth is that
yes,
I have known much, and much has made me uncomfortable.
That is very wonderful. You know, the generation of today, we don't want to read.
Because me, I have read so much, and I can quote the Bible by the way.
Oh, yes. Are you a Christian?
I'm a Christian.
Which church do you go to?
I am a Catholic, but a dirty one. But I can quote the Bible.
Okay.
I can quote you. You read the Psalm.
Yeah.
Chapter 1, verse 18. It says, the more you know, the more sorrowful you become.
Yeah.
If you can read it properly. And this is what has happened to me. If you say, I know philosophy, I know political philosophy very, very, very well.
Wow.
And even now, because I've been teaching ethics and public administration, ethics is also philosophy. So I know philosophy.
Yeah. Professor, let's go back in Makerere. You're in Makerere. What course were you doing in Makerere?
I said, anyway, by the way, first year, I did political science and philosophy.
Oh, wow. That's a big course.
Then
every leader must have that.
Then from second year to third year, I majored in political science and public administration.
Okay.
So my area of focus is political science and public administration.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, so how is life after Makerere?
No, even before I leave Makerere. When I was at Makerere, there were lively debates. By that time, there were ideological debates between what they call capitalists and Marxists.
Yeah.
By that time, that's when I met Professor Mamudan. He was my icon.
Okay.
For him, he said he was a revolutionary and a Marxist. And then we had the Nsibambi and the others who were from the other school.
Professor Nsibambi, isn't he one of the former prime ministers of Uganda?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a prime minister. These are the people who shaped me. So we used to have meetings, debates. Actually, there were debates, lively debates. And the lecturers would not fear each other. They would tear each other in front of the students. And would take sides. So we used to have what they call a magazine known as Mawazo.
Mawazo. I've never heard about that.
It was a Mawazo. It was having intellectuals writing in it, books from the world,
Yeah.
And that shocked my mind because that's where I started reading the history of Uganda.
Who published Mawazo? Was it published
in Uganda? Being published by the Faculty of Social Sciences.
Oh, at Makerere University.
At Makerere University. Okay. And the editors were Mamudan and the others of that nature. So it was an intellectual journal where all the people would write. And to get the articles, I would simply, they would have those debates. So I left at Makerere when I was already having a political direction.
Which year did you leave Makerere?
I left Makerere in 1987.
1987?
That's
just 1 year after the liberation of the new government.
Glovi Logistics Limited, your #1 customs clearing and forwarding cargo consolidation warehouse company. We do air shipment, worldwide sea shipment, transportation, tax consultation. Glovi Logistics Limited is a competent company specializing in logistics clearing and forwarding services. We have the necessary skills and resources and partnerships to tackle sizable projects to our clients' satisfaction. We are located at Mganzaraza Plaza near the entrance of Katwe, Kampala, Uganda. Call us on +256 779 634 328 or +256 701 784 648 or visit our website glovylogistics.com or write to johnglovy@gmail.com. Glovi Logistics Limited, your #1 clearing and forwarding company.
By the way, yes. 1 year afterward. Because anyway, we should have done earlier on, but because of the war, we completed in 87.
Okay. How was studies during the war?
During the war, first of all, most of my time I was at Makerere when there was this war. And I know how it used to happen. It was this bush war. And Makerere, of course, was also a recruiting ground for the guerrillas.
Oh.
Yeah.
So coming from a poor background, how did you manage to raise up tuition for the university? Such a big university.
Such a university by that time we did not pay.
Oh.
Instead we were being paid boom.
So it was a government free.
It was a government free institution where they would give you transport to back at your home and then for holidays. We were pampered the route. Wow. So being poor did not affect me because everything was given free.
Oh wow. That was a very big
They would give you even a boom and So I would survive on it only that I would not live in a luxurious life, of course. That was the only thing. But I managed to live at Makere because education at that time, university education, was free.
I wish our viewers who are young, as in of this generation, they are just thinking like they're just wishing like we wish this was into our generation, because majority of them, they wish to go to school today but they can't afford because
they can't afford
the crazy institution fees that have to be paid. The institution is crazy.
So for I'm lucky I'm here where I am because I was getting free education. I got free education.
That's very good. So how is life after Makere University?
Yes, this is life after Makere. It was very, very adventurous.
Wow.
I left when NRM has come to power.
Okay.
And most of us, because of Mamudan, we had the orientation of NRM, which was a leftist organization. And actually my thinking was largely shaped by earlier talks of President Museveni, because he talked as a leftist, a Marxist. So, because of that background, when I left Makerere, I went to, you call it by that time, it was not Chankwanzi, the national leadership was at Wakiso. So I went to
Wakiso.
Trained as a cadre. Cadre 8.
Who is a cadre 8? I
mean, their groups, they were weighing, counting them from the time they started.
Yeah.
So there was cadre group, cadre 1, cadre 2, cadre 3. Me, I was cadre 8. After finishing, before I could graduate, those people again, they were at it. They took me to go and politicize. Is it politicize? People who were fighting, actually they were fighting Rakwen. I was taken to Lila to politicize people when they are fighting.
Yes.
I ended up by saying no. Came back. I came back. I left that place because I was not a soldier. I was only a cadre.
Yeah.
I left that place. Then after leaving that place, somehow I remained at home. I was adventurous. After failing that one, I trained as a cadet assistant superintendent of police.
Oh wow. You also served in the Uganda police force?
No. I'm telling you, I was very adventurous. I trained
moving a career from another career to another career.
I trained at Naguru for about 7 months, 8 months.
That's already make you already a qualified police officer.
I know law very well. Then afterwards, I saw things were not going on very well
in the Uganda police.
Yeah, I was not all that proficient in the parade. I just said, and even then I knew myself. As I was seeing things, I said, quit police before I finish. Then that's how I went to Chankwanzi.
You also went to Chankwanzi?
When I left police, immediately I went to Chankwanzi to become a lecturer. This time not as a what? To become as an instructor. We call them as an instructor what?
Okay, at the National Leadership Institute?
Institute, yes.
Okay.
That's when I was, and I got also books of philosophy.
Wow.
We're teaching Kada 8, teaching most. I have taught people, there I met people who were big by then. I cannot touch their races even now. So,
can you mention some of those few people? Just to mention.
But some of them are forgotten.
Okay.
But they were big people. I remember we used to teach there who would come. There were very many big people.
Generals.
You could teach even the generals.
Okay.
Even up to now, I've been teaching generals, you know.
That sounds great.
So, but then I spent the day, is it 1 year? Then that's when we in holidays. I got a motor vehicle accident I talked about.
Oh, shame.
I almost lost 2 legs.
Which year was that?
1988.
1988. I wasn't yet born because I was born 1990.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm just turning 35 this year.
Oh, you were still young as that. So, after getting a motor vehicle accident, because I couldn't remain in the bush doing that, I was taken at the NRM Secretariat as a research officer, where I spent most of my time, 18 years, following politics. But I know even the politics before because I was already an adult. So you were asking me if I could talk about politics.
Now, speaking of the politics, take us through Uganda's journey, being born outside the independence zone. Now, take us just through a simple, because currently the youth of today, the revolutionaries of today, these are kids who weren't there before. But they want to bring compulsion between the Idi Amin Dada's regime, the 70s, to today's regime. Just give us a brief hint about it.
I was a bit more conscious at the time when Obote was fighting with Mutesi.
For more than 10 years, Kebbi International Group has been your number one partner in tours and travel consultancy. We also do real estate, legal services, ICT services, and much more. Find us on kebinternationalgroup.com or write to us at info@kebinternationalgroup.com. You may also write to us at PO Box 35827 Kampala, Uganda, or visit us on Namaswahi off Entebbe Highway. Call us on +256 200937566 or +256 3948632 or 46. Or you can send us a plus on WhatsApp on +256 752 1375 66. Cab International Group, your number one rail business partner.
I remember hearing my sisters saying it is Obote fighting Amin and being rather fighting Mutesa. Then I was hearing them saying, but Mutesa is the president of Uganda. They say, but he's the one who is fighting now. Then being a Catholic, knowing the politics of Uganda, which were based on religion, I was a Catholic from a village which was against UPC because they were mainly Catholics. So we thought, I heard that Obote was oppressive, and the people from Western Uganda, they said, I mean, rather for us Catholics, we shall never get jobs. So they say he was very discriminative. That's all I knew about him when Obote won. I knew he was against Catholics. He was fighting Uganda. He was anti-Uganda, and he did not like Catholics to get jobs. Actually, by the way, I told you my names you have heard in Ndinawe Byekwaso, but I was baptized a Catholic, and I saw an affidavit. I was baptized as Lawrence. But when I reached P7, I had to change the name from Lawrence to Edward because I feared I would not get a job because I was what? A Catholic.
What? Oh, you were traumatized and you had fear.
So you had to change the name so that it does not rule.
Was Uganda at that point?
Yes, that's the politics in Western Uganda. The politics in Western Uganda was all that very bad, as I was seeing. People were fighting along religious lines, houses being destroyed, DPs fighting Protestants. And people would fight. That's when I witnessed it. First politics. The politics of first Obote were as dirty. Well, I don't know. Because people were divided along politics. And I came to realize that we allowed to form political parties by colonialism towards independence, so that people could be divided and promote political violence. I've written that thing in my book.
So basically what you're trying to say, the colonial masters made it intention to create political parties before we get independence. Just to make us divided
along tribes and religious lines,
so that they can gain more power and more how can I phrase it, so that they can get more power to control us, because they will be our own refuge.
It was continued divide and rule, but this time being implemented by our own leaders. So that if you have got a leader who is a Protestant, he will mobilize Protestants And then a leader who's a Catholic will mobilize Catholics to fight Pharaoh for the people of Uganda to fight.
I think it's still happening today, because we have a region here in Uganda whereby if you're going to be an MP or a councillor, if you're not Muslim, they will never vote you.
They will be, those ones are still there, but those were the best. Anyway, the first point which I want to make,
yes,
and for the younger people to listen, is that politics started becoming dirty immediately after independence. That's why some people were saying, I wish we did not have independence.
Yeah.
Because, you see, Protestants would fight Catholics, especially in Western Uganda, where politics was dirty.
And we all believe in Christ. That's what.
And we're all Christians.
Exactly.
Why? And I don't want to go into the deeper details of that one, because I've written it in my book there, Political Uganda, the political economy of Uganda reinterpreted.
Okay.
I will not go much into details, but what I want to tell you is that politics started getting dirty immediately after independence.
Laptop Solutions, your dealers in new and used computers and accessories. This is the gadget hub you have for all your components you need for computers. In Amazon, we do camera installations, software, hardware, networking, and repair and maintenance. We are located at Nalurega Complex G18. And we're here by Bomba Road. We're just opposite KPC Watoto Church, downtown. You can contact us on 0782 999 089, or you can call us on 075 227 536. Amazon, your laptop solutions.
Take us through what brought politics dirty, what made politics dirty, and what was Uganda after the dirty politics was introduced.
I have told you, colonialism ruled us for around 69 years. They never allowed the formation of political parties. It was towards independence that they started allowing the formation of political parties, even though they pretended that they were against them. Actually, from what I have read now, which most of you people do not know, the formation of political parties was assisted by the colonialists themselves, using what they call liberal thinkers. For example, the first political party was formed by Museveni, who was helped by a Muzungu known as Joseph Shepherd, and another woman I've forgotten.
What was the name of that political party?
It was Uganda National Congress.
Oh.
To form it, Museveni did not have the ability to move the whole of Uganda and form cooperative movement. He was helped by Joseph Shepherd, who was an American but working in Britain. So the scheme of political violence immediately after independence was planned right towards independence. So actually, I want to tell you even another data scheme which we haven't looked at between Baganda and Obote.
Yes.
Why they first held elections, and presumably Benichwanuka won
of DP.
But because they did not see whether Muganda could do enlist, to me this is what I've seen. violence against Uganda. They simply did not allow him to become a prime minister. For most people, they say because he was a Catholic. No. They had a scheme of the central government crushing the Uganda. And I will give you this one very closely here. So they manipulated the situation until they brought Obote, who allied with, and even the alliance between Obote, UPC, and Kabaka Yeka was also planned.
Yeah.
So that later it will break down, and then that's where the political violence begins. This one I have read it, I've got books about it. So what happened? Buganda, you know, Buganda was brought up as a favored tribe in Uganda. Kingdom actually, with special status. Yeah. And to make matters worse, colonialism grabbed the 2 counties of Buyaga and Bugangese from Bunyoro.
I read about that in history.
And now I want to tell you how these things started. Now they grabbed them and gave them to Buganda. And you know, Buganda by then it was still on a national building, so it thought it was gaining. Now, towards independence, in the independence constitution which was negotiated in Britain, there was an order which was saying that within 4 years, the people of Buyaga should, the government in power should hold a referendum so that the people of Buyaga and Bugangese can determine where to belong, either Bunyoro or Buganda. Sekandi, listen to me.
I'm listening, Professor.
Listen to see the source of the problem. Yeah. Why didn't colonial government hand them to Bunyoro and wait for Obote to do what?
To crush them down.
To be the one. Because it was put in the constitution order. Yes. It was put there. Why did they? Or why did they not allow them? Why did they grab them to give to Uganda and then later do what?
That's why now that's what I want to know, and my viewers want to know.
Why did they not return them if they wanted? Why did they not hold the referendum before they gave us independence? You know, they were creating a condition to create a flavor for a crisis, a political crisis. So what happened? Buganda started developing big problems with central government in 1964 when Obote held a referendum and the people of Buyaga and Bugangese decided to go back to Bunyoro. Then the Kabaka of Uganda said, my kingdom has been discredited. That is when the crisis started, and afterwards that led to the crisis. Most Ugandans do not understand this in this context. And since then,
yes,
the history of Uganda has never been the same, arising from that simple matter. I will try to raise it again. Yes. Because Obote crushed the Uganda, put them under state of emergency. Actually, according to Karuji, he pruned them to size, says they were what? That he pruned them to size, yes, that they were proud people.
Yeah.
The Uganda also hated him so much.
I know.
They did not like him.
I experienced that recently when he died. They refused his body to pass through Luwero by
because he put them virtually under, you say, curfew, or they were all busy what? Most people became UPCs because they feared repression.
Yeah.
Because the Uganda, they were hated. And encircled them, mobilizing all the other tribes to hate the Uganda. Yeah. And when the Uganda are the people who are very, very accommodative.
Yes.
So because of that, he hated them. Now, when Obote went in 1971, I was in 1979.
When Obote went.
Yeah.
Just hold on a second, Professor. Let's come back for more ads. We're coming back.
Global Logistics Limited, your #1 customs clearing and forwarding cargo consolidation warehouse company. We do air shipment, worldwide sea shipment, transportation, tax consultation. Global Logistics Limited is a competent company specializing in logistics clearing and forwarding services. We have the necessary skills and resources and partnerships to tackle sizable projects to our clients' satisfaction. We are located at Mganziraza Plaza near the entrance of Katwe, Kampala, Uganda. Call us on +256 779 634 328 or +256 701 784 648 or visit our website glovylogistics.com or write to johnglovy@gmail.com. Glovy Logistics Limited, your #1 clearing and forwarding company.
One's collapse and the rise of a giant Iddi Amin dimension.
By that time, I was seeing, understanding, and I was in.
How old were you, if you remember?
I was above 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, above 10 you can understand. You can remember some few memories.
So, I remember when he was overthrown, I'm telling you, I was coming from a Catholic village.
Yes.
People celebrated. We heard how people in Uganda celebrated
the fallen
of Obote and the coming of Iddi Amin Dada.
Yeah.
People celebrated in my village, even though we were not well. But we would hear people who would come from Uganda because they're working. They would say how the Uganda were celebrating.
Yeah.
But according to Mamudan, the people were not celebrating. They were not celebrating the coming of me, but the living of Obote. So now, if you want to tell me, I wanted to be a bit brief because otherwise I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I have seen all these regimes.
Yes.
So
take us through Amin. Who is Amin and how was Amin?
Amin came for us. We knew he says he was not a soldier. I was in P2, P3.
Yeah.
I will tell you the last experience which I personally saw with my naked eyes. I was not in Uganda, but with my naked eyes. So Amin, when he came, he started, well, people were what? Then later, that's when he had a problem with Chiwanuka. Ben Chiwanuka, he killed him. But I have reliably learned that Ben Chiwanuka also wanted to overthrow him.
Oh, so
he was power hungry. So
that's why Amin killed him.
Yeah, that's why Amin killed him. He thought he was so poor, not educated, then he would do what? Then Amin started killing his people. That's when the guerrillas, by the way, they attacked Uganda from Tanzania in 1972. And then
he became a tyrant.
He started killing the people. We would hear on the radio all people talking, people being shot. What, putting on the candoya and put on the tree and shot during the day.
They hung them.
They hung them. They would shoot them during the daylight to scare others.
Stop it.
So he started killing those people who were opposed to him. Now, I want to tell you a nasty experience. I said, the economy started being bad.
Of Uganda.
Magendo, that's when he was a Magendo. And people smuggling coffee.
Oh, Magendo.
Magendo, that was the people. Actually, by the way, I managed to study senior secondary school somehow because of Amin.
Yeah.
The only advantage I can say about Amin is that because there was inflation. I get me?
Yeah.
Local produce, unlike in the past when it was coffee where you'd get money, started getting money on the market. And I come from Kabare where they have matoke, bide. So we would sell some tonto, that is the local brew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The local
brew. Because the price had gone high and
you could afford
high of the mabite. Yes, I could afford because fees remained static.
Yeah.
At Utobe it was 650, and by the time the jerrycan had gone to 100 shillings.
So, excuse me, wait a minute. So your secondary school fees was 650 Ugandan shillings?
Yes.
Mine, I remember it was 400,000.
400,000
shillings.
When was that?
I entered the secondary in 2005.
It was 615.
Wow.
So, but then
what a story to tell.
Yeah, what a story still. So I managed to pay because I could get that.
Yeah.
But there was another disadvantage. scarcity of essential commodities. That's why there was smuggling. So you would line up for salt, for even clothes, and even people were. That's when Intunda came. These second-hand clothes, and it was not here from Uganda. It was being smuggled from Rwanda.
The Senior Citizens Talk is brought to you by Africa at Heart, Heal the Planet Global Organization, HICGI News Agency. Subscribe right now to get our latest updates sent every single Sunday. Don't forget also the Talk to the World show that is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. Subscribe here on YouTube and make your notification bell right here. HICGI News Agency. Visit us on HICGINewsagency.com and find us on all social media platforms on X, call it Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. HICGI News Agency. Subscribe now.
Nearby countries.
Yes.
Tanzania, Kenya.
Yeah, I knew it was coming from
Rwanda. And where was Rwanda sourcing it from?
I don't know. I can't understand. So briefly, I want to tell you a nasty experience.
Yes. Amin, what caused his downfall? What was his advantages? Yes, we got his advantages. That you guys went to school, managed to school, but then it
became a tyrant
and started killing people.
And it was killing people. I wanted to give you a nasty experience.
I was recently with the general discussing the issues of national security, and he was like, you guys, there was a time when a chief justice was pulled from his chambers, and he has never been.
This is what I'm telling you.
There's a time when a priest was removed, a reverend father was removed from the altar, and he was murdered.
He was murdered. So, but I had told you, whether you have already forgotten, I told Ben Chiwanuka was also killed. He was removed from chambers, and that's how he was killed.
Was he the chief justice?
He was the chief justice.
Oh, so the general was talking about Ben Chiwanuka.
Ben Chiwanuka, he didn't know that was the one who was removed from his chambers because he wanted to.
And the world never saw him again.
Never saw him again.
They even never buried him.
Never. We've never seen him again. So, but what I want to tell you, funny statement. I told you I joined senior secondary school in 1977. In 1978, I experienced a nasty experience, which I saw myself. I was studying at Kigezi College of Tobere. Then we had gone for half term. I think it was in March. As we were coming back from half term to go back at the school, I was passing. There is a river which passes by.
River Kagera?
Yeah, it is a branch of River Kagera.
Okay.
I saw people burned. Even some of them were fresh. People who had been shot, physically shot, and was broken and was thrown in the river.
Yeah.
They were ferried from cover, and they went and shot them. And we saw some people who were overlooking. Some people were, it seems, they were still somehow, somewhat. That is when Amin went to what you call barracks, where there were policemen. Any policeman who was suspected, who was an Acholi or a Lanji, they were run after, grabbed, and arrested, and they took them and shot them near that river. That is the story which I got when I reached Kampala. Yes, you are found in a barracks, arrested, and killed because of your tribe. You don't know where they got.
Tribalism.
This is what I call barbarism. Now, it is politics. You promote violence. When politicians struggle for power, then they promote barbarism, modern violence, what I call barbarism. So, when you are telling me, again, the regime which I experienced, so I mean, failed because of that brutality and even the economic war. The economy had come what? But what brought him down is very well known.
So Amin is gone. He's collapsed.
Obote
too is coming.
How Obote too came. Also that one I followed very well. Amin collapsed because he attacked Tanzania. And Tanzania waged a counterattack with what? with what they call Vakombosi, we call them liberators, came and removed him. But I want to tell you one thing which most people do not talk about. We were liberated from Amin only to be oppressed by the Vakombosi. By that time when the Vakombosi came as liberators, they started grabbing watches.
I hear they are the people that the carriers of HIV AIDS virus, and
by that time
they raped women and they brought the
when
country.
They would come, when they would take your watch, you say my watch has been liberated. So they came up with a second version. By that time I was very old. The Vakombosi supervised the what? Not to say smuggling, no. Getting goods, stealing of goods, routing, exactly.
They
were supervising the routing. That was a violence, what I call modern violence.
Who was the commander of Vakombosi?
I don't remember very well. But what I can remember is that we came from one dictator to be liberated by other oppressive forces.
So the Vakombosi, we know when they came in power, when they overthrew Amin, Obote too returned.
Because Obote too had the command over the Vakombosi, so he had his way to come back. So
how did the Baganda support Obote again for the second time?
They first resisted him.
But what prompted them to? Because Baganda, for generations,
they have never supported him. But
Professor, for as long as I know, Baganda are a stronghold in Ugandan politics.
Yeah.
And if you want to rule Uganda, Baganda must first accept you.
But
how did the Baganda accept you?
First of all, they brought Rudy. They brought him as a forward. Then the people he was ruled for only 69. This is 69. Then he was removed.
Those are 2 months and a half.
He removed, yes. And when he was removed, the Baganda demonstrated over Twagararule. Then they said no. So when they removed him, again, that's when Museveni was coming. They brought again Vinais. Vinais was there also as a what?
For more than 10 years, Kebbi International Group has been your #1 partner in tours and travel consultancy. We also do real estate, legal services, ICT services, and much more. Find us on kebinternationalgroup.com or write to us at info@kebinternationalgroup.com. You may also write to us at PO Box 35827 Kampala, Uganda, or visit us on Namaswahi off Entebbe Highway. Call us on +256 200937566 or +256 3948632 or 46. Or you can send us a plus on WhatsApp on +256 752 1375 66. Cab International Group, your #1 rail business partner.
I think it was simply a trick to say we brought him Uganda, but then Vinais was also staunch UPC. Uganda never supported him. But then they had a military commission which was chaired by what? There was the Museveni, Mwanga, and so on, which led a transition to elections in Uganda. And it had the army, control of the army. When they held the elections, they were rigged in favor of UPC.
That is the
1980 general elections.
And that sparkled off the NRA.
Yeah, Museveni by that time was a critic of what? Of Obote. And he was talking, up to now I'm surprised. He was talking openly that if they rig elections, I don't know, I will say go to the bush. And I remember when they were campaigning, because I was following them.
Museveni said it openly.
When they were campaigning, he says we shall go to the bush. That intimidation shall be met with intimidation, and
Obote never even arrested him.
They arrested him once, but they still allowed him.
Because I remember
He promised very well, I used to follow very well, that Obote Museveni was saying it openly that I would go to the bush.
So meaning Museveni since those days, since the earlier stages of his road to power, he's been a no-nonsense man.
He was campaigning and was what UPM, I was a UPM sympathizer.
So where did the war find you, the NRA war that we're talking about? When did the war start, by the way?
The war started in 1980. By that time, I was still at the Butovere.
Were you at secondary?
No, I was in HSC.
HSC. Senior 5, senior 6.
Senior 1980.
So you guys earlier you had HSC. I thought HSC is for us in the kids of 90.
No. I was there. Was that interesting? The war, I was at Interi. Okay. Actually, remember they were almost recruiting me to go to the bush when they attacked in 1981.
Okay.
And at Interi we also hosted to Obote.
Yeah.
So, but when they heard the elections, Buganda said they had won, and that's when the violence started. And the violence was not only in Uganda, but it was also in Western Uganda. There, most people who were suspected to be Banyarwanda and Bahima were rounded and tortured. I would see how they would be tortured in Western Uganda. Yes. They were tortured, which prompted them to join the bush in mass.
Now, Professor, let's jump a bit the bush now. We've jumped now the war. That is, we're talking about 1980 to 1986, January. Let's talk about life after the bush. Life after...
But I want to talk about this one to win the bush. Because the war was fought mainly when I was at campus.
Yes.
Life had lost meaning. For us, we had the comfort of being at campus. Soldiers would not enter. But otherwise, people would sleep in the bus because they would not go into their homes. You would hear bullets coming. The next day, you would see bodies littered over the place. So life had lost meaning, kabisa. That's why Museveni managed to get supporters. So you can jump if you want, take what. But what I want to tell you, so some of us who witnessed second Obote
life. So during Obote too, between that is 1978 to 1986, life had lost
meaning. The killings were so much.
Who was behind these killings?
UPC soldiers and Amin.
So should we take Museveni as a liberator at the moment?
When he came as a real liberator. Very real liberator.
I love that. Until next time, we will start from there. Museveni, when he came to power, was really a liberator. Until next time, it's Anastasious, God and Sekandi, and on camera we have Faithy Ruhinda. Thank you for watching. May the good Lord bless you. Enjoy your time and enjoy the show. Professor.
The Senior Citizens Talk is brought to you by Africa at Heart, Heal the Planet Global Organization, HICGI News Agency. Subscribe right now to get our latest updates sent you every single Sunday. Don't forget also the Talk to the World show that is running every Thursday at 4 p.m. Subscribe here on YouTube and make your notification bell right here. HICGI News Agency. Visit us on HICGINewsagency.com and find us on all social media platforms on X, call it Twitter, on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. HICGI News Agency. Subscribe now.